All right, we good, fellas.
All right, all right, all right. Um, damn, that's crazy. That's really crazy, fellas. We got a lot to talk about today, man. There is so much going on in the sports world. The NFL preseason is slowly but surely crawling to an end, and we've got a ton of things going on in terms of the sports world, as well as a little bit of contract disputes and whatnot. We got a lot going on for today's show, and some folks throwing their teammates or throwing their players into some very get accountable situations. We got a lot to talk about. Are y'all ready to get in this show?
I'm ready to go.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right, well, before we do, we got to hit you with the would you rather. Now, the question of today is, which of these two scenarios would you rather have happen? Your old lady proposed to you in front of your family at the cookout, like she gets down on one knee, presents you with a ring, all that. Or you and your old lady is in an argument when your friends are there, and she says, stop slamming them damn doors in my house, or don't slam no doors in my house. Which one would you rather have?
I'm going with the proposal.
Mm.
Because I can flip the proposal, bro. The proposal mean your old lady feeling you that much that she feel the need to propose to you.
Yikes.
The slamming the doors in front of people, that means she'll respect you. That's an entirely different conversation, bro. And I better point my life where I'm not tolerating no disrespect, dog.
Hey, it be like that sometimes. Chris, which one you going with, man? Which one you going with? You going with the proposal in front of you? Which one would you rather have, the proposal or the don't slam no doors in my house?
The villain in me wants to take this question to the next level. The villain in me wants to. Very, very, very bad. But I'm going to be civilized just for the show rankings and ratings and stuff like that. I don't want us to get slandered. So I'm going to go old lady screaming at me, telling me not to slam no doors in the house. Now, here's why. Proposal in the middle of the cookout. They're going to be like, bro, you ain't had no money or something? Like, why your girl feel the need to take initiative? Do you the little spoon? You know, there's gonna be a lot of questions about that. Your girl talking about it's probably because I could be like, bro, I always be slamming the door in her face when she get to talking stupid or something. You know what I mean? Or it's like, man, I pay all the bills. I could throw out numbers like I pay all the bills. You live at my house. I don't know who you talking to like that. You know what I mean? You can put her back in check. Her getting down on one knee, it's a lot of questions about my manhood, man. It's
maybe.
Hey, wait a minute.
Maybe you just got it like that.
Y'all be being a little spoon? Y'all be being a little spoon?
No.
Hey,
bro.
Hey.
Look,
hey, Josh, you a little spoon?
Look.
Oh.
I'll say this.
Well, Giz, you know what information we have.
I'll say, look, 99% of the time, I'm big spoon. But on the few times I did little spoon be hitting.
Little spoon is disgusting, bro. It make me feel gross. Yeah. Get out, like, on God. Yeah. I'm getting uncomfortable thinking about being a little spoon.
Listen, bro. Your girl proposed to you, they gonna be like, so she wore the tux to prom. That's what they gonna say. They gonna sting you, bro.
Let me tell you, I'm definitely going, don't slam no doors in my house for a few reasons. Number one, you could, like, that's friends instead of family. Like, your friends can clown you, but they can only take it to a certain level before it's like, hey, bro, step outside. Like, let's handle this. Your family, you can't fight your mom no matter how bad she heating you up. Like, if your mom is like, oh, I hope she didn't crease her sandals proposing to your raggedy self. Like, you can't, there's nothing you can do to your mom when she cooking you like that. You just got to, real funny. And the next part, like Chris said, you can flip that. You can flip her saying, don't slam no doors in my house. Because think about it this way, right? How many people do y'all know, their parents are married, but they call it their mama house? You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, you can easily be like, man, I pay for everything, right? She just be on that. You like,
right, bro.
I be getting on my
nerves. She be getting on my nerves. You know what I mean?
There is no way you cannot flip. There is no flip to her proposal.
I don't know, bro. saying stop slamming doors in my house in front of me. That's crazy, bro. I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate that, bro.
Listen, both of these are crazy. Both of them are crazy. Like neither one of these is like, yeah, that's. I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
I feel like the first scenario, I could just flip it into like she did that because I just got it like that.
Yeah, all right.
She feeling me so much. She felt the need to propose.
Yeah, she got it like that too when y'all lay down, you little spoon, huh?
Hey, oh God. Because and listen, for the chat and for everybody who's gonna listen to this show later on down the road, the shortest person on this show is Josh. And you're what, 6 feet tall? 5'11"?
6 feet.
6 feet. This man is 6 feet, about 230, bro. This is not, none of us are small people. So like the idea of somebody being a little spoon is just, that's tough. Yeah. That's tough. That's,
man,
you know.
Hey, Hov said, sensitive thugs, y'all all need hugs. Sometimes you just need to be held, big dog. It's cool.
Yeah, you can hold me while you lay on my chest. You can hold me just as good. Like the hold, though, it don't get more holding because you
ain't got no allies on this one.
Exactly. You are on your own. You are on your own, my brother. You are on your own. But we got to talk about some folks who ain't on their own. And when we talk about that, we got to talk about folks that the NFL has extended Deshaun Watson's suspension as well as raised his fine. We got Baker Mayfield being named the starter. Dan Campbell doing Dan Campbell things. And boy, oh boy, Aaron Rodgers again doing Aaron Rodgers thing. So we're going to get into the show. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the Facts Over Acts crew. We got the master, the mix and master, Josh Guyton in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the melted plan, Chris Allen in the building.
Right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Kenton Gibbs. Now, folks, we are looking at Deshaun Watson seeing his punishment get extended from 6 games. It was like I believe it was like a $200,000 fine to 11 games and a $5 million fine. Is this punishment big enough for y'all?
I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no. The punishment isn't big enough because if you put it in comparison to the other suspensions that has taken place in the NFL, I mean, we have suspensions that are in place right now for things that are minor offenses. People are still getting entire season suspensions for having some weed or testing positive for smoking a little bit of weed. Mm-hmm. And this man is, I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but this man is literally a menace to society. I know we make jokes about Chris on the show, but this man is literally a menace
I'm not
to
a menace.
society.
Don't do that.
Right.
I'm not
That's what I'm saying.
No, Chris looked like a choir boy. Chris looked like a choir boy compared to bro, for real.
So compared to some of the things we've seen people get suspended for or blackballed for or exiled for in the NFL, I feel like 11 games is light, and I've seen a lot of people freaking out about it, and I'm thinking, you lucky he didn't get more. That's not that bad of a fine, especially $5 million with the contract he just signed. Yeah, that's like me making it to work, and I'd be like, man, I think $20 fell out my pocket. $5 million is $20 to that man.
I mean, I don't know. I'd be kind of tight if 20 fell out my pocket.
I would be tight, but honestly, by the end of the day, I probably would have forgot about it.
That's facts. Understandable. Chris, does the punishment fit the crime? Talk to me.
I'm gonna paint a picture for y'all, man. Y'all know how I do. So I know he was stupid. Well, let me not use that word. I know he was a little special in his decision. Now, let me not use that word. I know he was a little not well thought out with his decision. But Calvin Ridley, okay, he gambled on his team to win and received a suspension of a full year with no pay, I believe. Now, granted, he did make a FanDuel account with his name and his city in it. Calvin Ridley ATL, I think that was his name. So, granted, he did kind of make it extremely obvious to get caught. Granted.
Bro didn't hide not a single detail. He didn't even throw him off the trail. Calvin Ridley, Jacksonville. Like, bro, what would you Yeah, we got to clip that one, but yeah.
Yeah. He did make it hard for people to catch him, obviously. And then when they asked, bro, he was like, yeah, that was me. Like what I do wrong? You know what I mean? He was like, what I do wrong? But a year with no pay. You telling me Deshaun Watson with over 25 allegations, yeah, they're harder to prove because it's an allegation. They're harder to prove because Deshaun Watson probably got a $700 hour lawyer.
And the nature of the charge, like anything revolving around sexual assault, rape, anything like that, it's really, really hard to prove. Like the burden of proof for those are through the roof.
I don't think there's any such thing as 11 accusations. If one person was like, hey, Gibbs steal, I'd be like, bro, Gibbs ain't stealing. If 11 people told me you was stealing, you a thief.
Yeah. That's what.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So that being said, he only got. I get it. He took a whole year off last year, so maybe that factored into why he only got 11 games. You know, I get it because that's technically almost giving him 2 seasons out of the NFL.
Right.
Brother just signed 230 M's, man.
Yeah.
You could have at least told him he not getting paid for one of those years. You know what I mean? Brother just signed 200. He's getting paid now after beating 25 sexual assault allegations. You get 20, like I said, 25.
And for the people who are saying like, oh, he's innocent, he was found innocent in court. Let me just read an excerpt for y'all. This is straight out of Deshaun Watson's mouth. This is not from my mouth. This ain't from any lawyer who's against him mouth. This is straight from his mouth. After one of the women who gave him a massage was crying after the massage, he texted her, sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies. Now, I know some people who cried at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean? I do. We all know those people that's like, you know, when they get overwhelmed by the slightest bit of thing. I don't know anybody who's asked to, like, perform their duties of their job at, like, a very basic level that's, like, just going to start breaking down and crying. Like, I've never heard, especially in a potential situation where, like, we all know how barbers do it, right? A barber give Quavo a lineup, not a cut went from 25 to 75. It's the same thing with like a masseuse or a hair braider or whatever. They can say, oh, I massaged Deshaun Watson and the price went up. Except you can't because this man wasn't looking for a massage. That's not what was happening here. And the fact that like people are saying, oh, well, he just had consensual sex with all these women. How many times have y'all ever had consensual sex and somebody walked away crying in tears directly after? This is like,
yeah, that's
what
different.
What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? So with that being
bro,
said,
different.
Yeah, and the would you want to work or you know, let me know if you want to work again was like that was the moment when I heard that where I realized like, oh, he's in a different ball game from the rest of us. So with that being said, honestly, I don't think that the punishment was nearly enough. I don't. And with that being said, please stop acting like, and I'm gonna talk to a certain community right now because I love y'all. I love us for real, in the words of Monique. But every black man that get in trouble is not a political prisoner.
Deshaun Watson trying to buy NBC.
That is not the case. You know what I mean? Sometimes people do bad things, and people who do bad things come in all shapes, colors, sizes. This was one of those cases, okay? And so, again, I don't think that this penalty was long enough, and I don't want to hear well, Roethlisberger ain't get. Okay? I don't know what you want him to get away with it because somebody else did? Like, right. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Very disappointing on all accounts. And now, moving to a quarterback who has been disappointing for other reasons, Baker Mayfield.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead. Go
wait.
ahead.
I'm sending y'all to something. And this is what don't read it out loud, but I'm sending y'all something via text right now. This is what I saw scrolling today. Well, my friend saw scrolling. He sent it to me. And that's pretty much what the public says about this.
Oh my Lord. and that's a child. That is a child holding that sign.
Yes,
we
a
can't
child.
repeat that.
A child.
We can't repeat that on there. We cannot repeat that on there. I am. Wow, we're going to move. We're going to move past.
I
that.
mean, at the same time, you gotta look at their judgment skills. They decided to be Cleveland Browns fans.
You know, they're not wrong. You're not wrong there. You are very not wrong there, my brother. Well, speaking of the Cleveland Browns' old quarterback, Baker Mayfield has officially been named the starter for day one for the Carolina Panthers. Now, let me ask y'all fellas this. Two questions, two-pronged question here. Does Baker Mayfield make a big difference for this Panthers team, number one? And number two, will he do enough to keep Matt Rule's job? Talk to me.
I don't have faith in Baker as a quarterback. I do think if we are going to decide whether or not Baker Mayfield is him, it has to be that game against Cleveland. He got to show up against Cleveland, and he got to show us that he's a serviceable quarterback.
I disagree. You got to be Himothy at this point. I think if you're going to,
I think this game against Cleveland is his last chance.
Okay.
This game against Cleveland is his last chance.
I got you. Okay. All right. And do you think that he saves Matt Rule's job? Talk to me.
No, that man's job is cooked.
That's tough.
That man's job is cooked. But based on their quarterback performance this year, I also don't think that it's fair because I feel like they put the blame on head coaches in too many sports and too many situations that often. If somebody gonna lose, if I'm gonna lose my job, I don't want Baker Mayfield to be in charge of my destiny.
I'd be disgusted, honestly. I'm crying and throwing up at that point. Like, I got to depend on who to save my job, and he got to do what well? Bro, just go ahead and put me on EDD right now. Put me on that unemployment right now, bro. Just go ahead. Don't even waste your time. Like, let's just get it out of there. Chris, what you thinking, man? Does Baker Mayfield move the needle for these Carolina Panthers?
Gibbs, can you remind the people what pick Baker Mayfield was?
Oh, he was number one overall pick. Number one.
Can you remind the people what Baker Mayfield college career was like?
He started out under Cliff Kingsbury as a walk-on. When they didn't give him a scholarship, he went to Oklahoma, went forward and won a Heisman. Made the college football playoffs twice, I believe. That was his career in college. Yeah.
Can you also tell some of the antics Baker Mayfield did in college?
Well, you got the planting the flag against Ohio State. You got the flipping off and the hold my nutsack gesture to Kansas. You've got a lot. There's a lot there, including I believe he was the quarterback that got arrested, and he was trying to run from the cops, and like he literally did not get 5 steps away from the police. I believe that was him. Was that him? I feel like that was him.
I think it was.
Yeah, that was definitely him.
Okay.
Yep, that was definitely him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you also name us the Browns receiving core under Baker Mayfield?
The Browns had OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku at tight end. Austin Hooper, I believe, was also a tight end of his.
That's elite.
And that doesn't mention the backfield combination of Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you please name some of the all-pro players on his defense?
Oh, well, of course, you got Myles Garrett. You got Ward over there. And let me see. Who else? Who else was all-pro? I believe those two. I mean, technically, I want to say Johnson, the safety, was all-pro for the Rams, but I don't think he's been all-pro for the he's been there. And they had an offensive line that was constantly rated as one of the top in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus.
Okay. 2 more questions, I promise. Who are the other quarterbacks in Baker's division?
Lamar Jackson, Ben Roethlisberger, and let me think. You got the Browns, you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers.
The Bengals. I'm gonna help you out.
Bengals. Oh, okay. So before Joe Burrow, it was
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton and Ben
yeah.
Finley. Andy Dalton and Ben Finley were the quarterbacks over there. Yeah.
Syndrome.
And my last question.
I'm sorry, Ryan Finley. Ben Finley is Ryan Finley's little brother. Ryan Finley was the quarterback.
Okay. And my last question. How old was his competition other than Lamar Jackson?
Well, they were old as dirt. Andy Dalton was old as dirt. He was like, he had to be at least 33, 34 at the time, maybe 32 at youngest. Ben Roethlisberger had to be about 35 at the time that he came along. 35 or 36 at the time where Baker came along.
Oh, okay. One last question to state my case, too. What seed did they average in that division?
I think they were, about 2 or 3 for the most part when he was there? First year, they finished dead last, I believe. And then after that, they went to the playoffs 1 or 2 years. But
they beat the Steelers last game of the season the second time, and then they also finished 4th again.
Oh, okay. Well, yikes.
Now that the people of the court have heard all of those questions you answered very politely, Gibbs, the question you asked, does it really make sense? Does it really make sense, the question you asked?
You know, your case is resting very peacefully. I ain't never seen a case resting that peaceful in my life.
Listen, it is no way Baker Mayfield can afford to be anything less than Himothy Jr. He needs to be like Luka was in the basketball NBA playoffs. He needs to be that every night. That every day. Yes, Christian McCaffrey probably going to get hurt. We can all assume that. You can pencil him in. He missed 6 games minimum, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to at least show that you're doing all you can with that bad Panthers team that you could be a long-term quarterback. You were the youngest, besides Lamar Jackson, who's a freak of nature, which we can say Lamar was better than him.
Right.
But Lamar did more with less.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown couldn't catch 3 passes against the Lions. They should have 21 stomped the Lions.
They should have. He did drop 3 touchdowns in the first half alone.
He couldn't catch a COVID if he was in a room full of COVID patients.
With no protective equipment on. Absolutely none. Shaking hands, kissing babies, the whole deal. Whole 9 yards.
He couldn't catch COVID if he was in a room full of COVID patients.
I wouldn't say you're wrong. I would not.
And Lamar was able to get an MVP. Go to the playoffs every year but 1 year. I think he missed this year.
Willie Snead was his best receiver when he won MVP too. Willie Snead.
Lamar has done so much more with less. And they don't even consider him a real quarterback.
Yeah.
So not only that, he's doing 2 jobs where he's the running back and the quarterback, according to the public. And Baker has had All-Pro and Hall of Fame receivers with the All-Pro Hall of Fame defense. Yes, his coach might be sorry, but the hand you have dealt, it's like playing Tunk. He got dealt 3 aces off bat. Lamar got dealt 3 faces, a 7 and an 8. That's like one of the worst hands you can get. Like 2 middle of the pack cards and 3 faces that don't match.
Because if they drop, you just hurt. You can't.
And you
lost. You automatically lost that game.
You don't even look at your hand no more. That is what Lamar had. He won the hand. Bro spread the aces and then he went for the dub and then Lamar ended up dubbing him.
Hate it for him. Absolutely hate it for him.
Okay. So Baker, if you're not him when you go to Carolina, and mind you, the weather in Carolina gives you live in Carolina. Tell them about the weather, man. Oh man.
Oh, it's pretty hot and humid for a good chunk of the year, but it cooled down a little bit in fall. We're actually starting to hit that time now where like you might get like 80, 85 in the middle of the day instead of.
Gibbs, I live in Massachusetts, bro. I'm not hearing that. I live in Massachusetts, bro.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
He coming from Cleveland, bro. He coming from Cleveland.
The weather is nice. I didn't say it was bad weather. I
he up here talking about you get a little cool, guy. You hear him up here talking about you cool.
Bro, I enjoy it. I prefer the 70s.
Me and Chris got about 2 weeks left of short. We finna go to pod with a bubble coat on.
With the Montclair on. Y'all coming with the goose coat. Listen, Listen, I never said the weather was bad. I'm just saying.
I'm about to be skiing in a month, man. I ain't trying to hear that.
Hey, Chris gonna be Montclair.
I hear you.
Y'all got the Burlingtons, me.
You know what? Hey, the Burlington bubble still hit.
Hey.
It still hit. You know what I mean? We done all been through the Burlington bubble before. If you ain't never wore the Burlington bubble, you ain't a real one. I'm sorry. We done all been there before. So, but hey, listen, Chris, you're not wrong. I 100% agree with you, man. I 100% agree with you. And I'm mad that you took my points word for word. But let me go somewhere else then. The year where the Browns went 11-5 and everybody acted as if Baker was going to be God's gift to the world the following year, he had 27 total touchdowns and 12 interceptions. I'm sorry, 12 turnovers, 8 interceptions, 4 fumbles lost. So in essence, even in his best year, his absolute this is the banner year, he had about a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, with a supporting cast that is absolutely star-studded. With a supporting cast where if you were to throw a rock in his huddle, you were more likely to hit a Pro Bowler than a guy who was not going to be in the league 2 years later. Like that, again, Matt Rule, sorry to this man, but your job is done, my brother in Christ. Go ahead and start collecting unemployment now. Listen, during COVID, I was unemployed too. I can tell you how to fill out the forms, Matt. I got you. I was in North Carolina. I filled out the form, just to make sure that it's only going to come at a minor fee too. You know what I mean? I ain't going to charge nothing crazy. I ain't going to hit you over the head. And just a slim little 10 racks or whatever, and I'll go ahead and fill out the form for you. Because, this ain't going to go well for you. I'm sorry to tell you. Again, Baker was put in the best of situations, and he didn't do much with it. And so, again, when you got a star-studded cast, if you got bums and you can't do much, I'm not mad at that. You can say what you want, but I'm not mad at a quarterback not producing when you're surrounded by just a bunch of basically a sentient Roomba. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you with that. But if you're surrounded by Pro Bowlers, potential future Hall of Famers, you got to show and prove. And speaking of folks having to show and prove, everybody's loving on Dan Campbell. Hard Knocks is having the Dan Campbell love train get rolling. Everybody is about to be a Lions fan. And in typical Dan Campbell fashion, he does what nobody expects him to do. He has a practice, a PRP. For those of you who don't know what PRPs are, it's called a player run practice. Typically, you only do those during the offseason because you give the players the scripts of what they should do and you let them figure it out. And it happens a lot in college, not as much in the NFL, but that's a thing. They did that in the middle of camp, which is unheard of. Fellas, is this the year where Dan Campbell finally starts to bubble, or is it all talk? Is it all bite kneecaps and wave water talk?
Okay. So this is my last year doing this. I think the Lions are nice this year. I think Dan Campbell get the boys in order. When I say nice, when I'm talking Lions nice, I'm saying 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions 7-10, and that's a big deal considering they had 1 win last season.
They had 3. They had 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they went 3 or 4.
I remember the Cardinals win. Okay, so I only say this because it's not because I have the utmost faith in Dan Campbell as a coach. I think he's a good players coach. I think he is good at game management. I think the biggest deal that I've seen with this Lions cast is that they're really close-knit as a team, and I think that chemistry is what's going to put them over in a lot of these games. I think that's the biggest factor with what I'm seeing with these Lions players coming into this season. But as a Lions fan, it's been a lot of seasons where I'm like, the Lions might be kind of nice this year, and then we 3-14.
Yeah.
So I promise I have no intentions of ever not doing the Facts Over X podcast. So when we talking about the Lions next August, if they don't show up this season, every August until I'm 70 years old, I'm calling this team trash.
I understand. I definitely understand. Chris, is this Dan Campbell's year to bubble? What is it? Is this his year, or is it more smoke and mirrors?
Maybe if he played on or coached a different team. No. The one time I was a big Lions fan, the Lions said, "Hey, bro, you like us too much. We gonna go 0-16." So, no. I think the Lions get 5 wins, if that. 5-12, maybe 6 if they lucky. Here's the thing though. They are in a position where they can be somewhat successful. Okay, Aaron Rodgers has been stripped of all his receivers. We're gonna talk about that later. He's been stripped of his main receiver, Devontae Adams. He's also a little bit older in age. He's also someone that kind of look like he's fine with just winning MVPs. He's not really interested in really winning Super Bowls anymore to me. Because when it comes to playoffs, Aaron Rodgers turned into Danny Phantom quick. He goes ghost. He goes ghost quick. Now, I've been calling him a bad man before Stephen A. called him a bad man, but I'm sorry, A-Rod. You got to show up.
He's phantom. That boy molecules got on rearranged.
Hey, it was a strange time, boy. It was a strange time.
Okay, the Bears are still trying to figure out, with a rookie quarterback. So, I mean, they not – the Bears aren't crazy good yet, but they have potential, just like the Lions. And also, Jared Goff is your quarterback. I know 0-16 team was bad, but I don't think we've seen the quarterback. Like, Jared Goff was really, really, really protected with that Rams team. Like, that Rams team made him look like he was really, like, not that bad. Like, you know what I mean? That Rams team really made it seem like Goff was like a Kirk Cousins. I thought Goff was about to say, I thought he was about a Kirk Cousins when he was with the Rams. Oh, boy, was we wrong. Boy. Some of the throws he makes, it's like, Goff. Like Calvin retired. Like, Goff. Calvin not here. Also, the last point on the Lions, why I think that they have potential, but I don't think they convert on it, is the last team in their division, and I had the team in my head. I don't know why I just drew a break. I said the Bears, Packers, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, I think he's going to do a lot of heavy lifting for the Vikings this year, and also I think the Vikings are pretty solid this year, They've been on the cusp for the last few years, but I think the Vikings are pretty solid this year, As far as all-around defense, all-around offense, I think they're pretty solid this year. So I don't see you beating the Packers both games. You usually always split one with Green Bay. Most times when the Lions are decent, but I don't think they beat the Packers. I think they split one with the Bears, and I don't think they beat the Vikings. So in their division already, I give them 1 win in their division. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna say this, Chris. I agree with you 100%, but Josh, I also agree with you. It depends on what you look at in terms of bubble. Like, if you're looking at this season and saying, "Oh yeah, I expect the Lions to win 10 games," lay off the weed. Get off of the mat. Listen, stop it. It's gonna give you ugly teeth. Stop doing them drugs, okay? But if you like, hey, the Lions will not be drafted in the top 5 next year, that's feasible. That's very possible. Again, no disrespect to this team. I think that they're building this team the right way. The offensive line is one of the better ones in the NFL. They've got some decent backs. They've got some really good receivers. But Jared Goff is Jared Goff, number 1. And number 2, those corners are just, ooh. You can't, if this was the year 2000, we would be looking at a different situation in terms of like, oh yeah, the front 7 is getting there and the corners being trash is like, it'll come back to bite you every now and then, but you'll be okay. In the year of 2022, in this year of our Lord and Savior, 2022, you need multiple good corners. Yeah. I think the Lions have 1 good corner. I think they have 1 that I'm like, I trust him. And even the guy that I say, I trust him, he gets beat a lot. Amani, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Amani O
They get brought that towards ACL back though last year, right?
Yeah, they got Jeff Okudah back, but
yeah, Okudah back.
I just think that the start of his career was too rough, and I think that this was one of those cases where Matt Patricia ruined that man because he had him going man on man with one of the worst pass rushes in the league with other teams' number one receivers. Why would you do that to a rookie?
Yeah.
I don't. Unless I think that you're the second coming to Dion, and even then, even if I thought that you was the next primetime, I'm not about to say, hey, our pass rush is terrible, but go follow around the other team best receiver, bro. I believe in you. What? No. What I would tell you is, hey, we're going to move you around. We're going to figure out a way. Our pass rush ain't that great, but we're going to find a way to make something happen. But trust me, I'm not going to sit you up here and lock you on the number one receiver. You got to earn that right in the NFL. And he gave that to a rookie and was just like, I mean, why you keep getting beat every week? I wonder. I wonder how. I wonder why that would have happened. So, you know, if you're looking at this team and saying, like Josh said, if you're looking at 7-10 as a really good season, I'm with you. Josh, I'm right there with you. I see 6-11. I'm sorry, 6-11, 7-10. I see somewhere in that range. Maybe even 8-9. But I am not expecting a winning season. I'm not getting crazy. I'm not getting crazy.
This man said 8 wins. Chris said you got a little dip on your chip.
Hey, he said you got way too much dip on your chip, Playboy. But all I'm saying is this team, and honestly, Chris, I'm gonna say it like this. I think that Packers team is gonna run into problems in terms of like, yes, everybody says that they like Aaron Rodgers a lot. Yeah, they say that. Have you heard any receiver that left him say like, oh, he's a great guy. He's a wonderful human being. Like, I just love him so much, man. I'm so sad to be gone.
I mean, you don't hear that about a lot of good quarterbacks, though, for real.
No, stop it. Stop it.
You don't hear that.
Stop it.
You hear that about a lot of great quarterback, all-time quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is one, but you don't hear that on a regular basis.
That's what I'm saying. We're not comparing.
Like you hear that about Brady. You hear that about people that got like a strong legacy behind them.
You can't put Aaron Rodgers on like a regular, like, oh, you're just anybody. How many MVPs do you have? 2 or 3? Like, you can't put him on like.
Yeah, but I don't think you really hear that. Like, you know, there's some words that I say. The era that we in right now, you can't really give compliments out like that. The media twisted, turn it. You know, think about it. Kyrie said to the media, yeah, I called Brian to talk about like Cleveland situation. People said, oh, Kyrie called it Brian and said, oh, he's sorry, Brian. He didn't know Brian's job was that hard as a leader. All that. Like, it's nothing wrong with calling somebody and just being like, you know, I was wrong in the situation.
But that's the NBA though. The NBA fans and media are the most toxic fan base out of like all the major American sports. They're the worst by far. Like, there's nobody close.
That and hockey. But if you know some real hockey fans is.
Hockey fans are nowhere near as bad as NBA fans. Like, hockey fans.
I don't know, man.
Hockey fans are not out here. Hockey fans are not out here saying Wayne Gretzky played against plumbers. Like, they're not doing that. They're not. And guess what? Back when Wayne Gretzky played, they actually were not making life-changing money then. Like, that was not like, oh, yeah, I played in the league for a few years, so, like, I'd never have to work again. Like, no, them people was retiring and going to work at lumber mills for real. And nobody's like, right. Hey, bro, Wayne Gretzky was only saucing them up because they was 5'10" and unathletic. Like, you know what I mean? That is exclusive to basketball. Nobody says Deion. Of course, Deion could pick off quarterbacks. I mean, it was a standard 3-step drop, and they was either throwing the slant or out. In basketball, though, it's terrible. But no, I get it. I'm gonna tell you this. Even if we say, well, many of his receivers liked him or whatever the case is gonna be, the fact of the matter is, when you are the only guy that is like left, when you're the last standing survivor of like your team being together for all these years and you got all these new guys, it's a tough task. And we're going to talk about that more in just a second, but it's a tough task. Then you go to the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to be a pretty good team this year. I think that they're in a position, but I think that they got Jared Goff on steroids and they at quarterback. That's not saying much. They got Jared Goff with a Gucci belt at quarterback. So I'm not, Kirk Cousins.
A little generous. I was actually looking at it. Kirk Cousins' stats is kind of nice.
Bro, Kirk Cousins is not that bad, bro.
This is why we named the show Facts Over X, because if you watch the game,
That's what I'm saying. If you watch the games, you'll see he balls out against bad teams. Yeah. So like when they play the Lions, they're probably gonna eat. They're probably gonna eat them boys alive. Justin Jefferson gonna be gritty and all over the field, doing the AB, put that stuff on dance. He probably gonna be doing a lot of that against the Lions. But they don't play the Lions for 17 weeks. They don't. So, you know. And then you go forward to the Bears. The Bears might be run worse than the Lions at this point. I mean, good grief.
Oh, organizational while, but talent for talent, the Bears got a lot more talent.
The talent for talent, the Bears have more talent, of course. But I'm saying, like, in terms of organization and how they ran, Jesus, if y'all don't help Justin Fields out. So with that being said, that's why I said the Lions might sneak up on 8. They might sneak up on 8. It's possible. And again,
I gave them a win against the Bears, but I can't get them a win against the Packers, bro.
Hear me out. I don't think that there's not a world where they don't sweep. I don't think that there's like it's impossible to say that they could sweep the Bears. I think it's possible. I think they can do it. I think it's absolutely possible for them to sweep the Bears. Can they get a win against the Vikings? I think it's possible. I think if Justin Jefferson is healthy when they play, they're cooked. Pack them up. That's over and done.
I mean, you still got Adam Thielen too now. Don't do that.
That man is not a number one receiver. He's not a number one receiver.
He don't have to be.
But that's what I'm saying. If Justin Jefferson ain't there.
You still got the tight end too. I can't think his name. You still got
Irv Smith Jr.
He's not
Chris,
bad.
Please.
He's not bad.
Chris,
and you still got Dalvin Cook. You still got a great
but that's what the Lions do best. They're gonna stop the run much better than they stop the pass. Much better. They got talent up front. They have really good players.
I'm not arguing with you, Gibbs. I'm not arguing, but
on that back end, if that name ain't Tracy Walker, Deshaun Elliott is a baller too. Let me give him his credit. But them corners, you looking shaky, baby.
As long as it ain't Sorensen, it's better. It's improvement.
Oh, that's facts. Everything is better. Me and you could do better than Sorensen. I'm sorry. Like that, bro gets cooked professionally out there. You can pay me a couple M's and I'll watch receivers run by me too. Like, what are we doing? But anyway.
Bro, the montage of Tyrann Matthew. Bro, I watch that montage once a month, bro. That is nothing funnier than that. I've never seen a safety throw his hands up. I mean, on a regular basis. On a regular way, throw his hands up and be like, bro, what are you doing? Like in middle of play, like not even chasing down the receiver. Like bro, he's gone. What are you doing?
He was so disgusted with that, man. I have never seen two teammates be as disgusted with each other as I saw up in there. But I can see the Lions possibly getting to 8. But I think that's it. If you got expectations higher than 8, again, lay off the drugs. Please lay off the drugs, okay? And a guy that we were just talking about a lot is Aaron Rodgers. And let's talk about what he said about his receivers recently. And I quote, the young guys, especially young receivers, we've got way more consistent. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route decisions, running the wrong route. We've got to get better in that area. And here's my only problem with this. And I'm going to start this off by saying this. My only problem with this is that you got one of the biggest contracts in NFL history. What did you expect?
Right.
You expect them to pay you, Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, Kenny Clark, Amos. Well, how do you expect it? What do you think that the salary cap is turned off or something? All of these guys that you paid for, that money came from somewhere. All of that money that you got, that money came from somewhere. Mm-hmm. It came from somewhere. So when you couldn't even hold on to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, don't say nothing. This is what you get. Alan Lazard is your best guy now. So to me, if you took a pay cut and said, hey, listen, I'm gonna do what I got to do for this team, then you got the right to complain. Right. But you sitting up here being a $50 million man and asking, why are your $300,000 receivers not making Devontae Adams plays? You know why? Because Devontae Adams he's him. He don't grow on trees. Devontae Adams don't grow on trees. I'm sorry to tell you. So, congratulations, buddy. But with that being said, how do y'all feel after hearing Aaron Rodgers criticize his young receivers in this way so publicly?
Man, depending on how this upcoming season goes, I think that man, Aaron Rodgers, need to lay off the. I don't know what he been doing to awaken himself. He been smoking on peyote or something.
He been doing
it's something in some drug in Arizona that he is he's on that it has hallucinogenic effects or something along those lines.
Man,
A psychedelic drug called ayahuasca.
The ayahuasca. Yep.
Ayahuasca. There we go.
So if this man is going to come out and say things like that, then I'm gonna need him to perform at his absolute best, and I need to see a legendary season from Aaron Rodgers this upcoming season. Because if you took all of that money and you want these young receivers to perform, you want them to be a part of the core, you want them to get better at their game, you're going to have to go out there and be a leader and put on an amazing season. Because there's no reason that in order to... You don't know these players' learning skills, their development skills. At least I don't think that he does. So to him to come out and berate these players to the media, that's not a good look when you're trying to get chemistry together for your team.
No, not at all. Not at all. Chris, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers calling out his receivers?
I'm keeping a buck. I don't see nothing wrong with it, honestly. Like, yeah, he took a lot of money. Yeah, he didn't have to do that. But, I mean, accountability is one word that I'm really, really big on, you know. Aaron Rodgers, he knows he took a lot of money. And he's not really, dogging them, saying, like, we going to be a bad team. I've been on the other end where my team has had a superstar player, and he's like, we're just not good enough, and this team sucks. I've been on the other end of that twice. So...
Chris, they called you trash. They said you was trash.
I'm talking about James
I'm
Harden
messing
and
with
the
you, bro.
Rockets.
I'm messing with you.
But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers in the regular season. Let me make that be clear. In the regular season, the last 3 years, I don't know who that guy is wearing number 12 for Green Bay in the postseason.
All I'm saying is that sounds like it came from a personal place, Chris. It sounded like a star center fielder was like, every time Chris on the field, he getting rocked. Get that man off the mound. No, I just mess with you, bro. Go ahead.
No, I did my thing on that mound. But anyway, but the best player on the team, yeah, I like stuff like that. That shows leadership. That shows leadership courage. And I think holding your players accountable is nothing wrong with that. I think what's said needs to be said, and what's not said doesn't need to be said. I mean, he would be crazy if he came out there and said, yeah, this team is great. We're going to have a great promising season. We better off with the changes we made, and, y'all paid me a lot of money, and I'm going to hold my end of the deal. He'd be crazy. Y'all would be like, Aaron, you don't have anybody to throw the ball to, this, that. So I don't have a problem with what he said.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna tell you this. This next thing that we're gonna talk about is the reason why I have a problem with it. Mike Tomlin talked about his offensive line, which was just god awful against the Jaguars, but nobody knows what was said. When the media asked him what was said, he said, "I said what I needed to say. My offensive line knows what they need to do." Kendrick Green of the Steelers also said that it wasn't a good feeling to constantly be up on the board and be told, "This is who you are. You are what you put on tape." And that, to me, that is why I love Mike Tomlin. That, to me, is leadership. Because, again, there have been times where I've been the leader on the team where we got cooked through the air. We got absolutely cooked. And a reporter comes up to me, "What happened in the game?" And it's like, we didn't play good enough. You know what I mean? Of course I could have said, "Bro, my corner keep biting on double moves. He's terrible. Get this man out of here." But guess what? I've also had games where,
that's fair. That's fair.
When we went out to Orchard Lake on that cold, rainy night, we could not stop the run to save our lives. And it was just part of the deal. So, I mean, at the end of the day, to me, part of leadership is understanding that, yes, you have to hold people accountable, and yes, you have to do that. But to me, you do that in the locker room. Like, there's plenty of times where there's not going to be any cameras around, and you could walk into the receiver's meeting room. "Hey, you. I swear to God, if y'all run the wrong route again, I'm going to cut you myself. I'm going to call up the owner and tell him to get rid of y'all and go steal somebody from somebody else's practice squad. I swear to God that's going to happen." So if I was y'all, I would learn the playbook a little better and learn how to catch the ball. Because it ain't going to work out. But you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, guess what? The media would never know that unless one of those receivers went out and told somebody, yeah, he told me he was going to cut. He told me he was going to cut me, as opposed to saying it to the world. What do you think about Mike Tomlin's criticisms of his offensive line, Chris?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I'm a Tomlin guy. I'm a Steelers fan. I love Tomlin because let me tell you what Tomlin has. I love when people speak with, and I might get a little engineering on y'all, facts and data, okay? Facts over acts, facts and data, right? When people speak with facts and data, then you have measurables. And what comes with measurables are success. You have measures of success. So what Tomlin does is he speaks with facts and data. Therefore, I don't have a problem with it. When you speak with facts and data, that gives clear measurables, and he has proof to show that that works. They haven't had a losing season since when, Gibbs?
What was it? 2003.
2003.
I was about to say it's either 3 or 2. I knew it was either 3 or 2.
So if that's not enough data for you to back up your facts, I don't know what it is. I don't have a problem with Tomlin. You know, Tomlin knows what to say. Tomlin knows what to do. He handles every situation professional, and also, I mean, it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. If we're gonna be successful, Najee Harris has to get the football and he has to get blocks. If we're gonna be successful, Trubisky or Pickett has to get the football and they have to get blocked. They have to hit Claypool. They have to hit all the other weapons we got. So therefore, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with it.
Josh, what you thinking?
No problem at all, man. I'm basically go off what y'all saying. Mike Tomlin proved that he know the game of football. He proved that he know that he a leader. And if you're gonna call out a glaring weakness on a part of your team, that's the way you do it. You know something was said, but you don't have to go and put out a statement saying, yeah, they're young and they don't know how to run routes and they don't know how to play football. You say what need to be said to those players in the moment, and that's why Mike Tomlin is a winner. I don't see the Steelers, sorry, Chris, I don't see them, making any major waves, but they having a winning season easily.
I'll tell you this much. I think that the Steelers are a really good quarterback away from being back who they were, like at the height of their. That's pretty much it.
I think Pickett in a couple of years would be that guy.
I mean, it's possible. They drafted him in the first round.
I think so.
They drafted him in the first round, and it's rare to even see first rounders not be named the starter immediately. But having to sit down and having to earn it, it could definitely work out in his favor. I could definitely see that working out in his favor.
I mean, I'm not even mad at Trubisky, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He ain't. Again, that team is stacked. That team is loaded on every level. They got some ball players, so they're not gonna need a quarterback to win them a ton of games. They need a quarterback that's not gonna lose them a ton, and they'll be all right. So, that's my opinion on the Steelers. But we know y'all tired of our opinions and calling folks out and talking about who did what. But come on back next week and the week after that and the week after that. And before we get out of here, do not forget the Pod Pick'em Challenge is almost among us. It is almost here. All you got to do is be subscribed through the entire NFL season and pick 3 to 5 games against us every week. If you beat us, you are eligible to win up to $1,000 depending on how big the pool gets. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to Facts Over Acts because we the pod that's trying to get you paid, all right? Peace and love, y'all.